You belong on every ground your feet grace, so don't ever feel out of place. Take up space and belong. This earth is your birthplace. So, episode 5 of Too Hot to Handle starts off with um Damari still having that conversation with Bree and trying to tell her what happened between him and the new girl. I always forget these people names. Him and the new girl. So he finally tells her that they kiss, and Bree does not like it. She's not having it. A part of me feels like it's messed up for her to be dismissive of him like that, because when she did it to him, he was understanding when they had the conversation and he gave her another chance. But I understand why she is reacting the way, because he made it seem like he like her and it's more than just physical. And as soon as a girl with big hips and big boobs and a butt came inside, he kind of went against what he said he wanted for that girl. So I get why she's upset, but at the same time, I feel like she shouldn't just cut him off completely. And I think the fact that she did that is the reason why she's there. Because I feel like the reason why Bree kissed Chris and Damari in the same day is because she's afraid of getting hurt. She's afraid of building a emotional connection with a man and then him turning around and hurting her. And that situation that happened between Damari and the new girl rubbed her the wrong way, because she thought that he really liked her. She thought he was different, and that meant that she thought he wouldn't have thrown away what they had for a kiss, and he did it. But I do feel like she should give him grace because of the show. Like, you're not the only one that's trying to learn how to be, how not to allow sex to distract you from why you're there, from why you need to be in a show like this. He is also doing the same thing, so you have to allow room for him to make mistakes. Not saying that she should keep taking him back or nothing like that, but she should give him grace. This is the first time he's done something like that to her. Give him grace, just like he did to you when you made your mistake. But she said that's the end of them two, but I don't believe her. um at least I don't want to believe that she will dismiss him that quick. But as black women, we do that, and I feel like sometimes in certain situations we shouldn't. But I also feel her at the same time. Okay, so after that conversation, they get ready for bed, and Damari is deciding whether he's going to get in bed with Bree or if he's going to get in bed with the other girl. Bree told him that he could find somewhere else to sleep. She showed her he wouldn't have a hard time doing that. But I don't feel like she meant it. I feel like she was trying to make him. She was trying to give him an ultimatum, basically. And he decided to sleep with the other girl, but I think the reason why he did it was because he thought that Bree was going to embarrass him in front of everybody. I feel like he was kind of scared to get in bed with her after telling her what happened and after she went off on him the way she did. I don't feel like he did it because I think he was scared that if I don't show an interest in this, Bree already told me that we're pretty much done. If I don't choose this other girl, then I'm gonna be alone. I don't want to be by myself. I don't want to be alone, which is also another issue that he needs to work on. Um, so they go to sleep. They wake up. He does choose to sleep with the other girl, and they go to sleep. And while the lights and stuff are off, you see Catherine and Louis kissing, and you see Joelle and Flavia kissing. So they all break rules, and they do it more than once. I think Flavia and Joelle did it like 3 times, and Louis and Catherine did like 4, and they ain't no telling what else they did. So they broke rules. So the next morning they wake up, and they're asking like how the night went, pretty much trying to see who spent money, and everybody said they didn't do it. So Lana comes and she's like, y'all better tell him, unless I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to fess up. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to say what you did, and if you don't, there will be consequences. But still, nobody says anything. They're starting their day off. Flavia asked Joel if they were going to say anything, and he said no, we're going to keep it a secret. Same thing with Louis and Catherine. They both said they were going to keep it a secret. And so the new girl pulls Damari for a conversation to ask him why he's not showing interest. And my whole thing is like, y'all just got up. You're not even really giving him time. But I feel like he really regrets what he did. So she's talking to him about their connection, and he keeps talking about Bree. So you could tell that he regrets it, and you could tell that this girl don't like it, because she thought she was gonna walk into that villa with them titties and that booty, and those men were going to forget about the girls that they were with and be with her. And for the most part, I feel like if she went after Joao or Louis, they would have. I honestly don't think that they would forget about the girls, but they would also entertain her. I think Charlie will also entertain her. I feel like that's what she leads with, because it gets her what she wants. And in this situation with Damari, it's not, because he wants more than just physical. He wants, at first when he was with Bree, he was trying to get her to break rules, and I know his head was gonna turn, because he kept saying Bree still won't kiss me. She still ain't kissing me, because she learned her lesson. She's been banished twice. It doesn't feel good. You should respect that. If you really like her, respect that. And I feel like he regrets not respecting that. He wants her to break rules for him, and so he goes after a girl who would break those rules, and he sees that it's not all it was cracked up to be. He sees that he wants more, and he sees that he made a mistake. So now he's in his head about it, and he's, while they're having a conversation, he ain't even talking about his relationship with her. He's so busy talking about how good of a person Bree is, how funny she is, and how they got a connection, more than a physical connection. And the girl isn't happy, because she thought that she had him in the bag because of how she looked. That's another lesson that women need to learn. Looking good is not enough for you no more. We're in this climate where men are getting tired of women only caring about those things, only caring about superficial things, and they only bring their good looks to the table. It's a lot of men, and some of them would do it to spite you, but because, you know, they have this thing where it's all y'all women want is money, whatever. They have that mindset. Men have the mindset that the only thing we want from them is money, and the only thing we bring to the table is good looks. And women have the mindset that men don't want to open up to them emotionally and mentally. They only want sex, and they only lead with their money, so they settle for just the money. And because we're in that climate, you need more than that to make a person invested in you. Yeah, they might mess around with you, they might have sex with you, they might take you on a few dates, but they're not going to take you serious if all you're showing them is that you look good. Like, they're not. You can't expect somebody to do that. So she also needs to learn that being fine is not the only thing that a lot of men want. And if they do give you attention, it's only gonna last for a while before they're bored and they want more. That's just how it is. I feel like the reason why they invite women with a certain body type is because men are going to be distracted by the thicker woman, and even though they don't really like them, it'll cause problems in a relationship that was already built, because now he wants a taste of the new thing that just walked in, and you're distracting him from this girl that he actually likes, and he's gonna make the mistake of doing something to lose that girl because he's so busy lusting after you. This is not me justifying it. This is not me saying that they shouldn't, because I feel like even in situations like that, people need to be tested thoroughly. So playing it safe by inviting only a certain body type is not giving them the thorough test that they need. They need to have things that tempt them to make them learn that they should not fall into temptation. Not trying to quote the Bible because y'all know that's not what it is, but it's necessary for men to be tested in certain situations, even if it's in a controlled environment. Men are going to put themselves in situations that they're being tempted. They're just going to. It's a lot of women who will avoid that, but men are going to do it because they have this logic that if I'm tempted by these women and I still love my girl, it's real. It's real. And I don't understand that mindset, but that's how they operate. So bringing people in that are going to tempt them and that's going to be a distraction is going to help you see if they really care about changing. This is supposed to be about reforming players, right? Reforming people who only go off of sex. So they need all of that, to me, in order for it to be a test. But we're going to see what happens next. So Lana gathers everybody around the cabana and gives an opportunity for them to fess up. And at first they didn't, until she told them if they didn't come clean, it will be double. So then Joao and Flavia and Catherine and Louis finally came clean. And they spent, I forgot how much money it was, but the money was down to $137,000. And everybody else was mad at them or whatever, and they were saying that they weren't going to break any more rules, but I don't believe them. I feel like they will continue to break rules because I feel like a lot of them are afraid to do anything except have sex because they're afraid to have feelings for somebody else because they feel like they're going to get hurt. I feel like Catherine goes along with Louis because she feels like that's the only way that he's going to like her. I feel like Flavia and Joao are just avoiding connecting emotionally. Then Lana was also calling out people who weren't being honest about their feelings. So Damari not having the courage to talk to Bree because he's afraid that she's going to reject him. Charlie not having the courage to tell Lucy that he feels like something is missing in their relationship because she won't kiss him, which is stupid but expected. So she sends them to this to do this exercise where they have to look at themselves in the mirror and be honest with themselves. And at first everybody was talking about their physical features and stuff like that, and then they started to confess how they feel. And Bree said that the reason why she keeps her guard up so she won't get hurt. Damari says that he portrays himself as having it all figured out when he don't, and pretending not to care when he do. Catherine says that she just wants to be loved. Like, she does things because she wants to be loved. So all of them saying exactly what I already knew about them. And he had paired them up with people who weren't in their couple. So with other people so they would be more comfortable. But those were the only people that they showed saying something. Then they made them hug each other. Well, they made them stare into each other's eyes. And while staring into each other's eyes, Catherine and Charlie claimed to see something that they were trying to ignore with each other. I feel like Charlie only wants to put his attention on Catherine because she's breaking rules and Lucy isn't. I don't feel like there's this underlying, like, do I feel like Catherine and Charlie are attracted to each other? Yeah, but not for the right reasons. I don't feel like their relationship is going to be any different than her relationship with Louis. I think they're going to break rules together or whatever. That's just a new person for you to break rules with. And I feel like the reason why Charlie is so interested in her because she's breaking rules and Lucy isn't. He doesn't feel like he's going to have the physical connection. Before all of that happened, he tried to take Lucy in the shower like Louis did Catherine, and he took off all his clothes and she didn't do the same thing. And it kind of scared him. I kind of feel like Charlie only knows to express himself during sex. And he feels like without sex, he doesn't know how to express himself. So it scared him that she wouldn't do the same thing that he did, because I feel like it makes him feel like if he can't have sex with her, then he's not going to be able to show his how he feels, or he's not going to be able to learn how she feels about him. I feel like the only way he know how to express himself is through sex. So now he wants to say that, oh, there's something there with Catherine because she will break rules. I feel like I don't think that's the only reason why he like her, but I think that's the main reason why he like her, and he about to jump ship. And she asked him, "Are you serious?" And he like, "We can talk about it later." Still doing the same thing he started off doing. The reason why Lucy didn't trust him in the first place. Instead of being honest, you're trying to sneak around and do stuff, and that's what make you a bad person, instead of being honest about it. Because he doesn't need to talk to Catherine. He needs to talk to Lucy and tell her how he feels, and tell her that he feels like because they didn't have sex, that something is missing between them. But instead of doing that, he's going to have a conversation with Catherine to talk about something, some type of feeling that they have a connection or whatever, instead of instead of having the courage to be honest with Lucy. And he's still going to do wrong stuff. So I feel like it helped for Bree. I feel like that exercise helped for Bree and Damari, but I don't think it helped for nobody else. So they go about the whole day, and Catherine tells Gian no Catherine tells Flavia and the other girl that about what Charlie said, and was saying, and they were telling her basically, you're here to make a connection, so you should talk to him or whatever. You shouldn't feel a certain type of way. She told them she doesn't think that her connection with Louis is gonna go further, and I think that's why she's entertaining Charlie. But I feel like if Louis showed her that he wanted to take things past sex, like not just about sex, she wouldn't look Charlie's way. But I feel like now, because she tried to talk to Louis and tell him that they should stop breaking rules, and Louis was ignoring her. He just kept touching her and like doing things, trying to be sexual with her, while saying, yeah, you're right, but not really hearing her out. So that made her realize he don't like me for real. He just want to have sex. So now they have this experiment, and her and Charlie were partners, and then Charlie and her have this connection, this unfinished business. She feels like, I think that Charlie is the one I should be with and not Louis. When in reality, you're afraid. You're afraid that Louis is never going to want you in the way that you want him to want you. So you are directing your attention to somebody you feel will. Like, do I feel like Catherine and Charlie can have a good relationship? Yeah, but I feel like the way that they're going about things is disingenuous. They're they're not actually connecting because, oh, there's unfinished business. I've always wanted to get to know you. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't just have been with this one person this whole time. Catherine is afraid that Louis will never want anything deeper, and Charlie is afraid that something is missing in his relationship with Lucy, because she won't have sex with him, or she won't kiss him, or she won't like touch him or anything like that. When Lucy just trying to get some money, she's practicing self-discipline, and you can't even respect it. You are trying to make it seem like she don't like you because she don't want to do things. Actually, she don't trust you. She don't trust you, because when you first got in there, you had a relationship with 3 girls. You tried to start something with 3 girls, and you told them to keep it a secret. Now you're about to do the same thing. Reason why she don't trust you, because you're being sneaky. You're doing things and you're not talking to her first, and you're about to show her why she shouldn't. She's actually getting to a point where she's starting to trust him, and he's about to break it again. Because instead of talking to Lucy first, him and Catherine goes and have a secret conversation where nobody could see them. Uh he tells Flavia, shh, don't say anything. You're doing the same thing that you came in the house doing. If you really liked her, you would do it the right way. You would do things the right way. You would not go behind people's back. And then they had this conversation talking about there was a connection there, unfinished business, but they didn't say nothing really. You're saying a bunch of nothing. I saw that you have a vulnerable side. Vulnerable side. Every single person on earth has a vulnerable side. You didn't see nothing amazing. I saw that you had a vulnerable side, and it showed me, it made me see you in a different light. He was like, when you, my first impression of you was that you were like basically a party girl. Like she just wants to hook up and stuff with people. And he chose Lucy because he said he chose the safest option. I feel like he chose Lucy because he felt like she was going to be loyal. He felt like she was going to be loyal to him. That's why he chose her. And Catherine kept getting chosen by every new dude that came in there, and he didn't want the competition. She chose Louis over him, so he decided to choose Lucy. It was not because she was the safest option. It was not because he said Catherine scared him. She did not choose you. That's why you chose somebody else. And you felt like you would always have to compete if you stayed with her. And you felt like Lucy was a safer choice because nobody, like when people was coming in the house, they weren't calling to go on a date with her. But everybody wanted to go with Catherine, and that meant that your relationship with her will always be threatened. That's why you decided to go with Lucy. So yeah, you chose her because she was the safest option, but not why you said it. Catherine didn't choose you, so by default, I'm gonna go with Lucy. Is what you did. Um, and they talking about, well, we'll talk to them about it tomorrow. And I don't really believe them. We gonna see though. And they go to bed. Also Bree and Damari talked, and he told her that he apologized to her and he understood what he did was wrong, and that he wanted to keep pursuing their relationship. But she said right now she doesn't want to. But I don't feel like she's being honest. I think she's being scared. I thought that experiment helped her to see that she needed to give him grace, and it did. I feel like it did. But at the same time, she's saying she needs more time to process it, and I feel like it's just a cop out. It's a cop out. She thinks she's gonna get her feelings hurt. But I Damari says he don't want to give up too easily, so it seems like he's going to keep trying. But I don't know if Bree is ever going to get over it, because I feel like she's comparing herself to that girl, and the girl made her. Oh, something I forgot to mention was that girl saying, why do I, when she was trying to start drama at the little cabana thing, she told Lucy that Charlie didn't really like her. Charlie said something, and she was like, don't get mad at me because you don't really like your girl or whatever, just out of nowhere. Because, and saying this because Lucy isn't like having sex with Charlie or whatever, and also because these men are not falling at her feet like she thought they were going to. And she was being an instigator, so she said that to Charlie, and then her and Bree went back and forth because she was telling her, you haven't been with Damari long enough to know whatever, or she said something, you haven't been in here long enough to know any of what you're saying. And she was like, I've been in here long enough for your man to choose me over you or whatever. And Bree was like, barely, because don't try to make it seem like he is head over heels, because he ain't really showing you much of nothing. That's what she said. You haven't been in here. Damari hasn't shown you much of nothing since you've been in here. And she like, well, he did enough to choose me over you. And Bree was like, barely. And she was like, it's funny that I'm having all of the issues. I'm not having issues with the hot girls. I'm only having issues with the basic ones. I hate girls who have gotten by off of their looks, who think that other women, whenever they have a problem, is hating on them because of their looks. Sometimes people don't like you because don't dislike you because you're pretty. They dislike you because you're an ugly person. And she's an ugly person. You can tell, because she thinks she's the best thing smoking, and she's mad that that connection with Damari didn't go the way that it wanted. She feels like, how he gonna choose that basic girl over me? Bree is beautiful. Lucy is also beautiful, but she's trying to say the only women in there that are that are attractive are the Latinas. The other Latina girl, Flavia and Catherine. Like, and I feel like Brie is having a hard time because she's comparing herself to this girl. And it's like, yeah, she got a nice body, but she's an ugly person. Stop making it seem like you're not worthy because this girl has more body than you. She's not a good person, and that seems to matter to Damari. Damari seems to want somebody who has depth, and this girl doesn't. He got distracted for a minute, but it didn't last. He immediately knew that he made the wrong decision. He just was scared to talk to her because he knew she wasn't going to give him another chance. And I feel like she is selling herself short by not giving him another chance. I do feel like he learned his lesson, and I don't think that he would do that to her again. But I feel like she's still scared because the girl is there. She's comparing herself to the girl and feeling like, why would he like me over her when she looks like that? And I feel like that's her biggest mistake. She let that girl get into her head. The girl think that she looked better than everybody because she's Latina and she has a nice body. When she came into this house, and a lot of these men, they looked at her, sure, but they're not throwing themselves at her feet. And I feel like that bothered her. So Brie needs to stop comparing herself. She's cheating herself out of this experience by doing that. That girl has nothing on you. Not saying that something is wrong with her, because I'm not going to put no other woman down. But she has shown that she's not a good person. She's beautiful, yeah. She has a nice body. Titties is nice. Butt is nice. It's nice. Regardless of whether it's real or fake, it don't matter. She has a nice body. And yeah, she's a distraction to men who only care about that. But even men who only care about that get bored with that quick. They get bored quick. And they want either they go to somebody else that's the same and they just keep doing that, or they look for something more in women. Like, all men aren't really gonna just chase behind a girl because they're pretty. Like, I just don't believe that. I think that men want more than that too, and especially with a girl that thinks that she like she wants to be worshipped. Like, why? And I don't think there's anything wanting to be worshipped to an extent, but for you to want to take these guys from these women is a little, you have a problem. You're attaching your worth to the amount of men that you can take from women. That is also insecurity. You're also insecure. It don't matter how pretty you are. You're insecure because you need the validation. You need somebody to make you feel like you are better than women that you feel look basic. And what are you going by? What makes Brie and Lucy basic? They're both beautiful women. I do feel like men do make those type of women feel like that they are the chosen ones because how they look, because she's Latina, she can get away with things that a black woman cannot. Brie can be mad and it looks bad. If she gets mad, she was instigating and nobody said nothing bad about her. But if that was Brie, they would say that they didn't like her. And she knows that. That's why she said what she said. However, it's not going to work in your favor because men don't only care about looks anymore. They're expecting more. And you don't have that to give. We've seen that you don't have that to give. So you're basically projecting when you're the one who feel insecure. Yeah, Brie feel insecure, and I feel like she can't get over it because that girl is still there, and she feels like, why would he want to be with me when he could be with a girl like that? But I hope she gets over it. I hope she doesn't sell herself short because she's comparing herself to this woman that does not have anything but beauty. That's all she got. She ain't got nothing on you. Nothing. What I also forgot to mention was Charlie announces we shouldn't have no rules broken tonight because we've broken a lot of rules. And he said especially Catherine and Louis. You're only saying this so Catherine does not do things with Louis so she can give it to you. And that is sick. That is sick. Y'all are playing in these people's face instead of going ahead and being honest with them. Talking about, yeah, we shouldn't break no rules. You're just saying that so she won't mess around with him. Like, before you go, check out my website at srgraham.org and subscribe to my mailing list to get exclusive updates on works in progress, other news, and blog posts. Thank you.